really didn't think that I was gonna have to even make this type of video. However, I've really been left no choice but to, because in one of my videos I was getting a large outcry from a particular demographic of men, and it was black men. Now, if you look at both of my other videos talking about straight men being straight, I never once put this toward a certain race at all, because it will affect women regardless of what race a man is, if he is choosing to hide
Listen,
what his true schmexuality is, or if he is dabbling or interested in another type of schmexuality. But I found it very funny because a lot of black men were upset over the fact that they pretty much felt slighted by the video that I made, despite me never targeting them as a demographic that is doing this. So, because the call is coming from inside the house, I'm going to go on ahead and talk about it. So, if you aren't familiar with the term DL, it means down low. That is a term very prevalent in the black community. Pretty much, a DL man is a man that is posing as being heterosexual, however, he is still engaging in homosexual activities, and no one knows about it. Okay, so he's keeping it low, he's keeping it a secret, he's keeping it hidden. And if you are a black woman who is still choosing to deal with black men,
there you have it. They always leave clues. That's it. We can literally stop the video right now and move right on along, because now you know what type of woman you're dealing with. She is one of these types that actually hate black men. And for the women, for my sisters that's going to watch this video, I'm not in the least bit saying that all black women hate black men. But we do have some that are nonstop, 24/7. Because if you go on this young lady's TikTok page, all the videos, she's just attacking men nonstop, mostly black men. But they leave clues. And so she says, I'm going to address black men because the call came from inside the house, making reference to the fact that backlash came from black men. But have you looked in the mirror, young lady? Because you damn sure look like a black woman to me. And to be honest with you, why wouldn't the people in your own race take a look at it and feel maybe slighted, because you're actually the same race as them? And people that are the same race have a proclivity to date one another. So that's why the call came from inside the house, because you're a black woman. And 9 times out of 10, most black women date what? Black men. But they leave clues. If you're a black woman that's still choosing to date black men, that is the clue right there.
you really do need to watch this video. If you are dealing with a black man, you need to have at least the small thought that he may have either been involved with a man sexually, or he is actively still dealing with men and you don't know about it. Me personally, whenever I've dealt with a black man, I've always just had it in the back of my head based off of certain things where I'm like, he probably is or has had relations with another man before. And the reason being is because the more that you have to cover something up, the more that you have to kind of put on a show, it means you're hiding something.
She doesn't give any concrete reasons why you should feel like if you date a black man, you should have to always be thinking in the back of your mind that he might be on the down low. She doesn't give any evidence. She doesn't produce any type of personal experience or anything that would make you actually say, well, you know what? Maybe you got a point there. She's just pushing more black male hate rhetoric that sadly will be adopted by young, foolish women. The one point that I really, really want to make is that, well, the word down low is prevalent in the black community, but I would venture to say that there are just as many, if not more, and I believe that it's more women that are on the down low than men. And the reason why I say that, because in my own experience, I almost haven't met a woman in the last 10 years that hasn't had at least one sexual experience with a woman. Honestly, maybe one. All the rest of them have had sexual experiences with a woman. But nobody wants to have that conversation. I never hear people talking about that. And maybe that's because most men probably enjoy threesomes. I'm not necessarily one of those type of people. And I guess it's not that much of a big deal to them. So maybe that's why we're not actually having a conversation about it. But anybody who adopts this crap that she's pushing right here is just crazy. You should not have those type of thoughts about the man that you choose.
And this has been perpetuated through hip hop music. This is one of the ways that it's been perpetuated. Um, I have a standard. I don't talk to men that listen to like hip hop music because the hip hop music is very misogynistic. And if you look at the evolution through time of hip hop music, you will notice a trend. If you listen to music from the 90s, especially if you listen to like Biggie Smalls, there were like Biggie Smalls and NWA, there were several like innuendos of homosexuality in the lyrics and in the songs. Like there's literally full blown lyrics saying that like, oh, like you liked it when I effed you in the A. There's plenty of
Never heard that lyric before.
lyrics like that in the music. And then when you go into like the 2000s, I don't know if you guys remember, but there was like that big like no homo thing. Yeah, they had no choice but to say no homo all the time because a lot of that music, a lot of what was being perpetuated out was very much homo. So they had to further reinforce that they weren't homo by saying no homo.
You know, that's why I hate these terms like no homo or no diddy, and I never use them. Like I rarely do. Maybe if I'm, cracking a joke or something like that with somebody. Because if from my generation, and I'm 42 years old, man, man, you comfortable with who you are. I don't have to say no homo or no diddy behind every damn thing that I say because I'm worried about you thinking that I'm some type of homosexual or something like that. Like, that's why I can't stand all these terms that people have adopted, man. And she does make a good point about hip hop music and it being misogynistic. She also made some points about some of the lyrics that, Notorious Big and others have made. But from our time, when you drop those type of lyrics like that, it wasn't this hyper focus on homosexuality like it is now. So you understood that it was a bar that was, meant to try to make some point. It might have been a little bit extreme, but I wasn't thinking in my mind at no point that Notorious B.I.G. Biggie Smalls was, a homosexual or anything like that. I don't get off. I'm one of those people. I don't get off into all the gossip rags, all the shade room type of crap. None of that type of stuff. I'm just an old school type of guy. But I understand um where she's coming from on, like I said, on some of the lyrics. But the no homo, the no diddy, I hate that, but I never have thought in my mind that men were actually using that to actually cover up homosexuality. I think they began to use that because it's a hyper focus on masculinity and homosexuality because this stuff is being constantly pushed in our communities. And so these younger generation of men, which many of them haven't had fathers, feel like that's some type of protective mechanism for them. And that's me just kind of like having to understand and growing up in the hood. But I never was one to use those type of terms because I've always felt comfortable with myself.
So the music is heavily misogynistic. Like the music is really talking about harming women, hurting women, like just treating women just as objects and just pretty much celebrating the fact on how you can play a woman, how you can abuse a woman, how you can use
Told
a
y'all
woman.
she's hurt.
I'm sorry, but you're never going to be able to convince me that someone can just listen to that stuff and not believe it and not want to act it out. Because as far as I'm concerned, the opposite of misogyny is pretty much liking men. Like, I mean, that they're men like binaries so much. I'm sorry, like that's the other binary as far in my opinion. If you hate women, you hate women because you like men. You actually
Well, you know what the thing about it is what about women that hate men? Like this particular young lady right here who has got, I mean, you can, like I said, you can go through her timeline. It's nothing but hatred towards men. It's nothing but attacks on men, their masculinity, taking all of these different tropes and pushing all of this crazy rhetoric about men. So should we assume automatically based off what you've said that you like women? Not only that, when we talk about music now, and I will admit, men have obviously had a longer history with making music that has been disrespectful to women, but she never mentions the Glorillas, the Sexy Reds, who make some of the worst, ratchet, filthy music that you've ever heard. They push the envelope so far, and in those lyrics, they disrespect men in the same ways that men disrespect women. But it's always one-sided with these types. And that's is simply because she probably has been hurt before and or enough, and now she hates black men. Or she dislikes them enough, maybe not hatred. She dislikes them enough to go on an attack constantly. And it's just sad to me.
prefer men. And black men are obsessed with their manhood. Like they are obsessed with their manhood. Like they rap about it all the time. Like they are literally obsessed with their manhood, which further alludes to the fact that a lot of them actually prefer men. And I'm sorry, but black men are the only men out here who are sagging their goddamn pants.
Ain't no grown ass black man sagging his pants. I don't even really see like young guys, to be honest with you, in these times, even sagging their pants in my neighborhoods. I don't. There is this hyper focus with masculinity, but it's a side effect of this agenda to emasculate males, to always be pushing homosexual content, media, music, movies, pictures down our throats as men and our children. So that's why you see this hyper focus on masculinity. Women today, they celebrate metrosexual and homosexual type of guys. Just go look at their social medias. Their followings are huge. The comments are huge in support. They support those. But if you're a masculine man talking about masculine issues that affect black people, their community, black women don't deal with that at all. They don't deal with masculine men. I've always wondered why you guys say that you want a man, but you celebrated everything. But listen, you celebrated men who don't want to be men, that are competing with you for men. How do you reconcile the two?
This is why, like, I'm sorry, hood dudes, I'm sorry, in my humble opinion, hood dudes are the most closeted. Like, as soon as I'm talking to a black dude and the black dude saying, like, oh yeah, I'm a real ninja, and like, he's trying to be hard and he's trying to put like a lot of hyper masculinity.
The problem is the first of all, you've been hurt by those same hood niggas you talking about. Those are the type of men that you've dated, and those are the type of men that have hurt you. You can't expect much else from a hood nigga. If he's a hood nigga, you know he's a hood nigga, then you should expect him to do hood nigga shit. And you can't get mad at him for that. You can expect him to talk in a way that hood niggas talk. So you're mad about the choices that you have made for yourself. I'm glad that maybe you've come to a space in your life now that you don't want to date those type of guys. But most usually do when it's too late. But you can tell that she's had her experiences with these hood niggas. Those are the ones that have hurt her. And now she's on the attack and she wants to paint all black men with the same brush. And now she also wants to say that all black men, if you're dating any black man, you should in your mind be thinking there's a possibility that he's gay, that he's on the down low. This woman right here has so much disdain for black men. And I think what she should do is probably get off camera, go see a therapist, and try to heal that hurt. And I understand it could be difficult when you done been through some shit. Because believe it or not, men go through shit with women too. And men hurt too. But you need to put the fucking camera down, the mic down, and go seek some help. Because she didn't say not one thing positive about black men in this video. The whole video was an attack on black men of every type. She didn't say, well, if you're just going to be dating this specific type of black man that comes from this particular area or whatever, she's just saying that all black men. And she's really trying to say in her heart, she really wants to say, you shouldn't be dating black men. Let's just all leave them alone because they hurt me. That's really what she's saying. This is really a cry for help. It's a cry for help, and it's sad. But I think people like this, they should just take the camera away from her. They should, because she needs healing. But listen, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I want you guys to continue this conversation with me and others in the comment section, right? Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you're not a part of our family. We're going to have more videos coming. We keep growing. We keep getting bigger. I think we're at about 17,600 subscribers now because of you guys. So I thank you for the support. I love y'all. Don't forget to give a family a hug from me, and I'll see y'all in the next video. And tell me what y'all think. Does she sound like a woman scorned to you? Because it definitely sounds like that to me. Holler at y'all in a little bit.